So, I bought a Dualsense like 2 years ago, I think. And yeah, I got used to the Dualsense with like little risers on the sticks. And I don't want to buy a DualShock. Like my DualShock got flooded. I gave one away to a friend, and I just don't. I don't want to. I don't want to buy another DualShock, and I also don't want to spend my money on something from online with a USB-A adapter when I can just spend the equivalent money on a game for my PC. So the PS4 is like equivalent to a GTX 1050 or 1050 Ti. I still have my PS4. I don't want to buy a PS5 because it's overpriced and like there's maybe like a handful of games that I might actually play, and there's just no point when I have Evil West, Kazan, RoboCop, Witcher, all kinds of games that are equivalent or better than what's on the PS5. Plus, Windows lets me manage like I can use a laptop. I mean, I'd spend like $200 more for a laptop that's decently similar to a PS4 Pro to play stuff on the TV, but I can use the laptop to do Windows stuff on the go, and it's easier to transport because the PS5 had to have that weird shape, and it's stupid, and it's annoying, and they also hide part of the cost using the stupid stand. Like give me a break. Like, come on. And it's so bizarre because if PlayStation just gave up on some of its stupid like peripherals market, like it would encourage more people to buy the PlayStation because they're making all this money out of digital content. And it's comparatively little from physical content, physical things that you add to the PlayStation. It's so weird. You'd be cutting down on your costs. It's super weird. I don't get it. But fundamentally speaking, like because the PS5 era is so bad, it makes more sense to focus on PS4 games if you are going to buy a console. But it's been like 12 years, so. Do you buy a used PS5 and play PS4 games on it? But I don't want to buy a DualShock. It's stupid. Here's what I want to see. I want the Dualsense to get lights on it. I want individual button lights. I want lights around the touchpad. And I want the pairing mode to be switched over to a master mode. I want 2 antennas, so that I can casually switch between console and PC or console or phone, or play both at the same time to compare and contrast. Hey, compare and contrast 2 consoles, whatever. Lots of reviewers will have fun with that and test that. I want up-down to be profiles selection, left-right to be preset selection, and you should put in 8 gigabytes of SSD storage. Kids can quickly shift to a different profile to tune the haptics for grandma, and then go back home and just not be reliant on the console to do the tuning. So tune the haptics for grandma, go back home, play your game, just switch back to your old profile. And you have like a little clock on the left, profile 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you want more profiles, you just add more lights, like left and right, 2 buttons, 2 buttons, 2 buttons, 2 buttons. So you get 8, and then you have like different colors maybe if you want. And when it comes to presets, PS1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lights around the touchpad. And because you have access to SSD storage, like people will give you like an Xbox, preset that you can just install. And that solves the issue with your computer. Because I cannot use my controller on some games without having a cable on it or without using Steam. And it's super weird that, like, how many people have bought emulators, sorry, adapters for DualSense? Why isn't that money just part of the package? Like, people already are selling this. What is Sony doing not selling this? It's super weird. Super bizarre to me. That's just not an industry norm. It's like it seems like the most obvious in your face thing to do, because you still have the PS4. It's 120 million households. Just create a thing for both, or maybe modify the PS4 for forwards compatibility. Maybe, I don't know. Like, one thing gets you more money up front, the other thing gets you people everywhere being happy about you. And of course, the audio thing. Like, I just, why is the audio thing still a thing? Everybody has Bluetooth now. So you're basically punishing your poorer players with this audio thing, and they're frustrated, and it's a major disincentive from getting a PlayStation. But they could be spending that time being happy about the PlayStation and just spending money on cheaper games on the PlayStation, if you actually included cheaper games. But fundamentally speaking, like, other than your controller, what's the point of you? You wasted everything you had. Like there is no point to PlayStation anymore. I just like the controller. That's all. And the controller has issues because Mortal Kombat 11 and Kakarot don't recognize the inputs from a PS5 controller without a cable. I mean, they recognize them as Xbox symbols, but why do I need a cable to get Mortal Kombat 11, a 150 gigabyte game, to, like, recognize my XOs, like triangles and squares? Like, it's super annoying. It's like it's so bizarre that the DualSense doesn't already have in-body emulation, and it just bugs me. Like, why? I'm I why waste everyone's time by being so brutally bad at, like, physical hardware design? Like, I just, it's so bizarre.